Tyre Nichols should have been safe. So I'll just close by saying this. I was, as a senator, as a United States Senator, a co-author of the original George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And as Vice President of the United States, we demand that Congress pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Joe Biden will sign it. And we should not delay, and we will not be denied. It is non-negotiable. Let me start by saying to all of the leaders here, thank you. Thank you. To the members of our United States Congress on both sides of the aisle who helped pass the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. Thank you. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Peace, love, and reparations. Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. Today I got a nice little episode for y'all. I want to speak on Kamala Harris. Not Joe Biden, but we are going to speak on Joe Biden. But Al Sharpton and Ben Crump going to our brother Tyre Nichols' funeral and politicizing it to an extent. And I just honestly think it's kind of shady and disingenuous. But again, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, the like button. Definitely smash that like button. And thank you for all the supporters that have been supporting me. Make sure y'all go on Anchor, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Hit the Patreon up on /Black Star TV 2.0. And you can cash at me at $WILLIE0312 or at paypal.me/BlackStarTV20. Let's get into it, family. So y'all heard the intro, right? You heard the intro, and you see how this is the game they play with Black people, right? So they play this game right here, and I'm gonna share my screen 2-second style with y'all, right? We're gonna share my screen real quick, and it says President Obama and Biden both had a brief control of the House and the Senate, yet no police reform still. Now, watch this, right? This is what they do when it comes to Black people and it comes to our issues. Now, she said, "Now, we gotta get this bill done and hope Congress does it." Man, you could just do an executive order and make it happen, right? So now, when it came to the Asian hate crime bill, the COVID Act, which is strictly for Asians, right? This is strictly for Asians, and anybody who tells you that it's not strictly for Asians is lying, right? Congress seemed to get that done like that. That didn't have to wait in limbo. That wasn't, both sides got together and said, you know what? We need to create this bill. And it's funny. It's funny because Black people have the most hate crimes perpetrated against them than any other group put together, right? Black people, you could put all the groups together. Black people have more hate crimes than all other groups put together perpetrated against them every single year. But somehow they came together to do this for the Asian community, right? But somehow when it comes to us, it's always somebody else's fault. The Democrats are blaming the Republicans are blaming the Democrats. Somehow nothing ever gets done. And this is the cycle we catch ourselves in. And I just told y'all the other day when I did that video, I said, when you see Ben Crump, you see Al Sharpton, you already know it's some BS going on, right? So again, anybody who tells you, and listen to her in the intro. If you have to bring it back, bring it back. She said, I'm not doing anything specifically for Black people. Anything that benefits Black people is going to benefit the society as a whole, right? Because this is what they do. It's called benign neglect. So, but they did it for Asians. Now I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna share my screen again. I'm actually change it now to this, right? No, I'm gonna change it to this one. Sorry. Now this is that COVID-19 hate crimes bill, and this is how they try to word it because it happened during COVID. But really, this is just an anti-Asian hate crime bill. because they said, all right, so the following, I'm not going to read this whole thing, family, but again, make sure you blow the screen up, pause it. You can actually go on congress.gov/bill/117th dash Congress Senate bill. You see it up there. You could go to this and read it for yourself. So it says the following the spread of COVID-19 in 2020, there has been a dramatic increase in the hate crimes and violence against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. But I'm just going to skip around and show you anti-Asian discrimination, right? We're at all the anti-Asian and Pacific Islander sentiment, right? And Asian American, right there. Asian American, right? Pacific Islander. That's all it says. All it's talking about, right? They name all the Asians right there, and that's because this is who the bill's for. And again, when you see the picture that I showed in the intro, it showed when the bill was being signed. If that bill was for everybody, then you would have seen a multiple different groups up there. But that was strictly for Asians. That's why all you seen was Asian people there, right? That's all you seen. So when they say they can't do anything specifically for Black people, but then somehow you're able to do something specifically for another group that doesn't include anybody else. So when you do a crime against the Asian, that's now a federal hate crime because they passed a bill. You see what I'm saying? It's not a federal hate crime to do something against a Black person. Why? Because we're number one, we're not mentioned in that bill. And this is another thing, right? Let me share my screen again, family. We're gonna view this tab instead. This is the police account. This is supposed to be the quote unquote George Floyd Policing Act, right? They got police accountability, striking willfully and inserting knowingly or reckless, qualified immunity reform. So they're trying to do this for qualified immunity. It shall not be defense or immunity in any action brought under this section against local law enforcement, such as terms defined in Section 2 of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2021. And mind you, this got sent up around the same time. I believe the George Floyd Act was first, and then they came with the anti-Asian Asian one, and they pushed this one to the side because, again, even though, this isn't specifically for Black people because Black people are harmed more by the police than any other group, this would impact us more than anybody else, right? So this is why they BS'd on this one, and then they passed the anti-Asian bill. I don't even like calling it the COVID-19 bill because, again, this is the whole political finesse where they word it different to try to make it seem like, oh, this isn't specific to Asians. This is the COVID-19 bill. You see what I'm saying? This is how they do it. Everything is trickery. And that's why I said this is why it gotta be policy, not party. Don't vote for who you like. Vote for the policy. Vote for the policy. And again, when Democrats say, I'm not going to do anything specifically for Black people, but then you do things for LGBTQ. That's gay people. People are like, oh, well, it's gay Black people. I'm not gay. I'm not gay on any sense of the form. I'm not undercover gay. I'm not overcover gay. No, you feel me? I'm not any of that, right? So anything they do for LGBTQ, trans people, or any of that other stuff, that doesn't affect me. That doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my parents. It doesn't affect, my siblings, my cousins, my family and friends, some of them. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't affect all of us. You feel what I'm saying? So again, at the end of the day, we have to watch out for these politicians, man. They are playing a dirty game, and they've been finessing us for a very long time. And we have to look through that. And Black people have to wake up to say, yo, hold on. And it's so funny because now they're starting to even be blatant with it. This is why the black vote is going down, because they can't get black people. Because again, I always say this in all my videos, the internet is killing them right now, because you can see in real time, like again, showing you these clips. And what a lot of us have to do is go back just a couple years to listen to what these people say. Just listen to what they say. You have to understand, when she said that she had just got in, or she was running for president. Do you see what I'm saying? She was either I think she was running for president at the time. But yo, the simple fact that you was bold enough to run around here, number one, acting like you were foundational Black American, because real, that's how you was trying to put it. But she talking all that black girl magic. She was trying to make herself seem as though she was just so black, even though you was raised in an Asian house, right? You was raised in an Asian house. Your dad is Jamaican, but you didn't grow up under your dad. You grew up under your mom and them, right? You grew up in an Asian household, or Indian, whatever. It's still all the same, right? So this is why. And they try to make you as the first black vice president, female vice president, right? But again, just like her and Obama, they are not foundational Black Americans. They're not freedmen. Their ancestors don't trace back to chattel slavery. It doesn't, right? Obama's dad is from Africa, and his mom is a descendant of a slaveholder, right? Kamala Harris, same thing. And this is what they do. They get these people who aren't true foundational Black Americans, try to make it seem like they are. This is why none of them ever agree with reparations, because they don't qualify for it, especially if it's lineage based, right? So again, just like my last video when I showed the whole Freeman's Bureau and how they trying to, make up these whole organizations to try to muddy the waters of everything. They don't want to see Black people come up, and they use Black people who are, Sambos and sellouts and traitors and everything else. They use these people to undermine us, to make it seem like they're for us, but then they turn around and undermine. I told y'all every time, if you're new to the channel, the key, the key words to watch out for are minority, people of color, disenfranchised people, poor people. When they start talking like that, they're talking about everybody except Black people. We get in the mix, but anytime they say they're going to do something for minorities, they're going to do something for poor people, they're going to do something for disenfranchised people, that means that we're going to do something for everybody and give Black people the crumbs of it. We're only going to get 2% of whatever amount of bread you are passing out, or whatever you do. We're going to be at the bottom of that, right? This is why they're trying to bring in so many immigrants, because they're trying to undermine us. They see that we're not voting. They feel like they're going to bring the immigrants in, and the immigrants are now, even Black immigrants now, they're going to bring the immigrants in, and then they're going to now, take over us. But again, that's why they're not even voting Democrat, that's what's killing the Democratic Party, and they're going to crash and burn. But again, don't let them finesse you. Don't let that little speech she just gave at this brother's funeral rile you like they're going to do something. All they're going to do is now blame it on the Republicans. When they had the House, because they had the House and the Senate, they could have passed the bill then, and no matter what the Republicans did, they could have still got it done. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why I'm sorry, I was reading something. I just got confused. But this is why, they sit here and make all that finesse. I actually forgot what I was talking about. I'm sorry, family. But somebody text me. Yeah, family, listen, we can't let them finesse us. We can't let them finesse us, man. We can't let them just make it seem as though, oh, listen, Joe Biden's going to sign it. He's going to sign it. I promise you. Come on, man. He could have did an executive order. He can do an executive order. Matter of fact, let me share my screen real quick. This is what I was going to show y'all. An executive order is a rule or order issued by the president to an executive branch of the government having force of law. Directing a federal or administrative agency to engage in a course of action or refrain from a course of action. Like, he can do this, right? Here go the pictures. They can do this, right? They can just file executive orders and it goes over. They don't have to wait for Congress, right? They don't have to wait for Congress to do anything. He could just sign an executive order. That's why I say, don't let them finesse us. Don't let them finesse us, family. Don't let them finesse us, because that's what it's going to boil down to. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it's going to boil down to. And we don't need Democratic talking points or black people with Democratic talking points or black people with Republican talking points. Again, this ain't about liberal or conservative. This ain't about Republican or Democrat. This is about policy and getting things done. And we should be woke enough now to see that it's all a game. Everything is all a game. They politicize everything. This is why they're going to the funeral to make it seem like, no, we're going to get this done. And again, they really only doing a lot of this now because it's black officers. You feel what I'm saying? And they're trying to make it seem as though that this is some type of black on black stuff or whatever. But family, don't fall for the hype. Don't fall for the hype. Remember, they did it for the Asians, specifically for Asians. We should have bills specifically for foundational Black Americans. Freedmen, we should have bills specifically for us. Simple fact, and we should always be calling them out when they say, yo, I'm not doing anything specifically for Black people. Anything that I do for the Black family is going to benefit society as a whole. Every time you do something for us, it has to benefit everybody. But when you do stuff for other people, it doesn't benefit everybody. It just benefits them. This is why they're trying to keep us a permanent underclass. And that's according to our brother, Dr. Claude Anderson. And as a matter of fact, family, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that, make sure you hit that like button. Smash that like button too, family. But again, I just want to play this one more time for the people who maybe skipped over it, didn't hear it, but just listen. Listen, family, listen to the BS, because that's how they do it. They started off with BS. You act like you can't do something for us, but you also do things for other people.
Tyre Nichols should have been safe. So I'll just close by saying this. I was, as a senator, as a United States Senator, a co-author of the original George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And as Vice President of the United States, we demand that Congress pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Joe Biden will sign it. And we should not delay, and we will not be denied. It is non-negotiable. Let me start by saying to all of the leaders here, thank you. Thank you. To the members of our United States Congress on both sides of the aisle who helped pass the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. Thank you. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
That's exactly what she is at the end. That end thing, that raccoon, that's Kamala Harris, family. That is Kamala Harris. That is Barack Obama, Roland Martin, all of these people, family, all of these people, Al Sharpton, these people are put in place to undermine us, make you think that we're for the Black people, but meanwhile, we make sure we don't ever do anything for you that changes your dynamic. We want tangibles. That's why, listen, I did a video about what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did in the first 2 years. They did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he signed a lot of executive orders, and none of it benefits foundational Black Americans. Family, you have to understand that we have to get away from these people. We have to either build up our own politicians that's from the grassroots, that's going to have our benefit and our agenda. Because right now, all these Black people, all they do is have Democratic agendas, Republican agendas. And most of the time, that agenda has nothing to do with building up Black people. We are at the bottom of society. We've been there for centuries, right? And nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. It's actually getting worse. When you actually look at the statistics, it is actually getting worse, right? And again, we have to get those reparations, family. We have to get those reparations. I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to end it off with Dr. Claude Anderson. And family, make sure y'all have a blessed week. I hope everything's going good for everybody. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Man, we got to get off this Democrat Republican thing and not get our feelings into it and just vote policy. I don't care if they are the kings of the KKK. They could be the leaders of the KKK. If they have policy that's going to uplift us, we just might have to work together. We have to work together at the end of the day. Sometimes you got to work with people you don't like. You do it at your job all the time. You feel what I'm saying? That's just part of business. That's how you do business. Sometimes you're not going to like the people you got to do business with to get things done. But hey, sometimes it got to get done. So here we go. We're going to end off with our brother, Dr. Claude Anderson.
Is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for Black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, Black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated Black folk getting into this dilemma? And what Black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave Black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with Black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from Black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
See, family, and that's why I wanted to end off on that note, because again, they know the dynamics that we're in. They know the situation that we're in. They're purposely playing the game of let's not help them, right? You could give us reparations. When it came to COVID, you came up with the money for that. You done did things for the Asian community. You done did things for the Hispanic community. You done did things for LGBTQ. You absolutely can do for us what you do for everybody else. And that's all we want is justice, right? We want economic justice and we want, regular justice, right? We want justice in the streets. And this is why we need our own, like I said, I did that thing on the FBA, the Freedmen's Bureau, and they did have some things, it was an all lives matter type of thing. I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff at the end of it because they started trying to bring other groups in. But besides the stuff that they tried to bring other groups in, I'll call a spade a spade. Some of the stuff in there I liked. You feel me? But that's how they do when they trying to finesse you. They're going to give you some stuff you like and then try to, so you can be like, oh, I like this organization. No. But I would take some of the things out of there, like, having our own Freedmen's Bureau, police department. And things like that in every city, in every state, you know what I'm saying? So, sovereign cities that just like the natives have, right? That way, we don't have to deal with you. We don't have to deal with your cheating, your kangaroo courts, where you just go in there and you just case slaying Black people. Meanwhile, you're letting everybody else off the hook and all of this other stuff, or giving people little slaps on the wrist. But you sending our family to jail for 40, 50 years for the, some of the stupidest stuff. Like, yeah, them days have to be over at some point. And, we're going to have to do it however We have to do it, bro, by any means necessary. But we're going to have to stop this and get our justice, family. Peace, love, and reparations, man. Drop some comments in the comment section, man. I appreciate all y'all support, all y'all love, man. And I'm out of here, man. I'll be